Hey everybody, welcome back to Unicorn Princess Gotham. I'm Onikage, and for the last week of August, for demo month, we are going to be doing the Last Plague Blight. This is both a single and multiplayer game. It's a top-down, but it is very, very detailed and really a lot of fun once you get into it. The very beginning is where I am right now, and what I've done is I've got like a little camp started. They give you a bedroll, which does take up a bunch of inventory, so you want to find a place like to put it down. Um, it tells you to do it by the water, which I think is a really good idea. And basically, you sort of work your way up like the tech tree. However, because of the blight in the game, at least from what I've experienced, you can't stay in one place for too long. So just to give you an idea, we'll come over here and see this is all the blight. And basically, blight infects everything, and every day it'll spread. So that'll probably be closer to my camp the next day. There's a bunch of other blight around. Any of the food and stuff does have like a small amount of blight in it. So also, as you progress and eat and whatnot, your blight meter, which I don't have any right now, so that's good, but it does appear down here and it'll slowly increase. Um, Right now, I've got like the fire pit. I've got a stockpile of branches and sticks, which I'm going to use for my base. The stockpile feature is really, really cool. And then it does do like a time method and a temperature method. So like igniting this, and I've already got some water in a stone bowl, and it'll tell me once it reaches 100 degrees, it'll take 14 minutes to cook 140 milliliters of water from the 200 milliliters of water I have. So you do have to kind of plan your time correctly. Um, the construction of structures is a lot of fun once you get used to it. So you need clay bricks, for example, for everything. However, the only way to make clay bricks is you have to first build a mud brick kiln out of obviously mud. Now, where I am is a sand area next to the beach. But if we go over here, it turns into the river, and rivers are more so found with clay deposits, which, yeah, see right there. And you just like go over and you just do the gather, and it just keeps gathering until you're out of the clay. Um, the game has a mode, and it's the mode I'm currently playing, where it is more realistic as far as the map and stuff. So, for example, this is the map. You can't see where I am. The only thing you have is that map and a compass. Now, the journal says that I started at Barnsley, and where you start is pretty rare. So basically, here's Barnsley, and I was able to figure out that I was starting south of the town because it says that you can't get to the town because of the blight. So I used the compass to go here and then cross the river and then followed the river all the way up to where I have now marked this is my camp. The setup and everything does take a little bit. You need rope you make from dogbane. You cut down trees, and then once the tree is cut down, you actually have to then cut the trunk, or not the trunk, but like the tree itself into the logs. Hunting early on, you really have to throw stones at rabbits, which can be a bit of a pain. There's coyotes too, which will attack you. I haven't run into any yet, but they are a bit of a pain because you can only fight them with the axe. So we've got a rabbit here, and here's how the throwing works. I don't know if I'll be able to hit him. Oh, and he's getting away. Yeah, see, that was a bad throw. But as you get to like the mud stage and then the clay stage, you can actually start panning for copper and tin. And I did happen to find a copper deposit, so there was a piece of copper ore just laying on the ground as well as some copper ore pieces. So I'm going to be trying to smelt those. The cure for the blight, there is a bit of a story. On your first day, after you go to bed, there's like a note in the morning, and then that sort of takes you through the story going from there. Oh, and as far as the timing thing, that's another thing. as you can see, I have 9 hours worth of fuel. So when I light this, and I'm going to need to because my water is getting low, I want to make sure I have enough fuel for the entire time I'm sleeping, just to avoid being attacked by any animals. So I'm going to pause it here for a little bit, and then I will resume once I've got the rest of the base set up a little bit better so you can see what it looks like once you've actually gotten into the game. All right, so now we are at the end of day two, and I'm just going to walk you through the setup that I've gotten for myself here. We've got the mud brick kiln, which is currently making the clay crucible, and this is what you're going to put your copper and tin pieces in to melt them. I also have a axe blade mold that is hardening, and so because my axe isn't going to last forever, so got to get that taken care of. Made a bunch of clay bricks. So I've got the clay brick kiln, which can do the saw blade, my resource pan, which I'm going to need to start, panning the water to get some tin and copper pieces, a bigger clay jar. Because it's going to be better for boiling stuff and cooking, which I'm going to need to do more of. I've caught a few rabbits, cooked them, ate them. My blight is starting to increase. Um, oh, and I've made a bunch of charcoal piles, so now I've got lots of charcoal pieces. As you can see, it's got a maximum cooking temperature of 1500 Celsius, which is what you're going to need for, like the bigger items. And also, this does the charcoal pieces as well. And I've got a few copper ore pieces that I'm going to start with. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that goes like cooking in the background, but that's fine because you've got a lot of things that you can be doing while you wait for that. My fire has about 5 hours left. I've got a tree I cut down that I'm going to turn into some more firewood. And as you can see, I've got a leaf roof and basically some posts here to keep the bedroll out of the rain. Hasn't rained yet, but I know it's going to. At the beginning of the second day, you get this letter, and it basically says that like they're going to make contact in 2 days, which, okay. I mean, I don't know how the letter got here if they're not going to be here yet, but whatever. Um, and so, yeah, I saw a boar, which I hadn't seen before last time I played, and I think also a bear, but those stayed away because I think I had the fire. No wolves. Killed a coyote, but I can't make the drying rack yet. That's going to take a little bit longer to build and whatnot. But my main thing is going to be to get me some weapons because, the animals are going to start to get rough, I'm sure. But yeah, so, about 2 hours into the game, end of the second day, I've got a good setup for going forward. Game is got a lot to do, and I do have a lot of fun with it once you get used to like the UI and like, getting your setup. Like the setup at the beginning is probably the most frustrating part, but once you're at this stage with like the three different things, the kiln, the furnace, and the mud brick maker for the clay bricks, yeah, you're pretty much good to go, and you just have to avoid, getting the blight too high so you don't die. So that's going to be it for the Last Plague Blight demo. For September, our game of the month is going to be The Infected. That was actually the game that really got me into the survival genre, and what led me to joining the survival Discord where I met Echo. And so it's going to be interesting to go back, see the new map and the new zombies or vambies, whatever they're calling them these days, and just see what's going on in that game. So hope you guys like this. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next month on Unicorn Princess Got 'em.